on Saturday night. For anybody here in the area out in Kissimmee, you can check Florida Championship Wrestling. It'll be at the Heritage Park Exhibition Hall. The doors for that show open at 6:30. The bell time is at 8 o'clock that night. Tickets ringside $25. General admissions $15 for adults, $10 for kids. You can find out more by going to fcwwrestling.com. Speak with one of the up-and-coming stars with FCW right now, that being Brett Dibiase, who joins us for a few minutes here on ESPN 1080. Brett, thanks for the time. How are you doing tonight?
Doing great, man. Excited to get to talk to y'all for a little while and give y'all some information and tell you a little bit about me and my background and how FCW has given me an opportunity to follow my father's footsteps and now my brother.
How did you not end up as Ted the Third?
You know, I've never really even asked my dad. That's kind of funny. I got named after my mom's dad, so I'm guessing my mom was a little jealous and wanted one of us named after somebody from her side of the family.
So you're 21 years old now. When exactly did you get the itch to say, I want to be in professional wrestling? You've obviously grown up with it throughout your life, considering your dad was in it. But when did you actually start to get the feeling that it was something that you wanted to do?
Well, you know, once I was old enough to realize what my dad was doing and who he was really mainly in managing by then. And I can remember watching WrestleMania 4 with my father, which is the one where he had 3 matches. It was tournament set up. He made it to the main event and wrestled against Macho Man. And I remember watching that as a kid and going, wow, this is awesome. Because, for a while there, Dad was a little iffy because it was such a hard life, the road life and all that. But he was, kind of iffy about letting us do this. So, I always wanted to. But my brother went to Missouri and trained at Harley Race's school. And then he went over to Japan for 2 tours and made it down here to Florida Championship Wrestling. And I came down here to visit for 2 weeks for spring break. I was still in high school. And I got to get in the ring for just about 6-7 minutes and roll around with him. And after that, I mean, it was like the sparks went off, and I was ready to move down there and stay there right then. Of course, Dad was like, let's make you finish school and all that. But I went to college for a year and a half, and I couldn't take it no more. And I came down here to Florida, and I remember when I got here, I started helping Steve Kern, my trainer. I was drywalling and sandpapering the walls, painting the walls, kind of paying some dues. And then about 4 months after that, I got a deal, got a contract with WWE, and they signed me up. And I've been training now for about 8 months. So that's kind of how it happened for me.
So when you're growing up, and your dad's the $1 million man, when he comes home from being on the road, does he actually smarten you up, or does he act like he's disappointed? You go, Dad, I thought you were going to win the world title.
Well, the people ask me that same question a lot, actually. It's so funny because my dad, he never let me in on anything. He always made me watch and to see the outcome. I mean, and even if he did lose and he came home and and he asked me, he never let me know anything. It was almost like he made me be a fan, which I'm actually glad. I mean, it's I would always ask him, especially big pay-per-views or WrestleManias or whatever it might be. I was like, what's going to happen? What's going to happen? And Dad would never let me in on anything. And so for the most part, he kept it fun for me. And I'm glad he did that. It was always interesting because it always left me guessing, okay, is Dad going to win tonight, or what's going to happen? I never knew what the outcome was going to be.
Was it tough to kind of win him over when you said, this is what I want to do for my career, for my living?
At first, it was very hard. Just because, especially right when I wanted to do it, having an education is very important, and I am definitely going to continue to do some online stuff, and I do want to get my degree eventually. But, with the way the economy was, Dad was just kind of iffy about, me coming down here and starting so young. And, but now, I called my mom not too long ago, and, my brother Ted Jr. is up on Monday Night Raw now, and I'm down here at FCW, and my dad actually had a chance to come watch me for the first time about 3 weeks ago. And she called me the other day and said he was sitting in his chair watching Monday Night Raw, and she said he just had the biggest smile on his face. He was just glowing because he was so proud and, excited to to know that, you know, we want to grow up and be just like him, which is not going to be easy. I can promise you that.
That's pretty big, high expectations right there. So what's it like for you when you're sitting at home and you watch your brother on TV every week?
Well, you know, Ted, you know, he's always been a huge influence on my life, even outside of wrestling. And, you know, he's the one who kind of got me down here and got me started and got, you know, gave me the drive to want to do this. And now I've seen how far he's gone. You know, he's in one of the hottest angles right now on Monday Night Raw. And, I'm very proud of him. But, you know, being the younger brother, I still, you know, I always laugh and tell people, I can't wait, you know, because I'm a baby face down here at FCW, and I always said I want to get up to the WWE once I make it up there, and I want to feud with him because I got a lot of built up aggression from them younger days of getting beat up by him all the time. So I want a little payback on him now.
Oh, I was thinking that maybe you were sitting there itching every week, going, "Man, I wish I could just jump the wall and run in there and help my brother."
Well, you know, it's funny. There's sometimes I thought that, but you know, me and Teddy had an opportunity to wrestle each other down here at FCW about 2 or 3 times, and you know, it's just something about being in there with your own brother. You know, it seems like everything's a little more stiffer, and you know, it's almost like you're in there and you're really, you know, you just want to kill each other, but it's in a good way.
Brett Dibiase from Florida Championship Wrestling joining us here on ESPN 1080. So with having the Dibiase name, how much more pressure does that really put on you, Dad, to try to live up to those expectations of what your dad did, and how well your brother has adapted as well, and how good he's doing now in Raw?
Well, you know, actually, I had a similar question asked not too long ago in an interview that I did. You know, I like to tell people this. You know, my dad obviously was, and all the way back to my granddad, Iron Mike, who was not only a great wrestler in our entertainment now, in our entertainment business, but he was a real national champion wrestler at Nebraska. He started 4 years on the Nebraska O-line, just a stud athlete, and then, you know, my dad, who got in the business when he was about 21, 22, and now my brothers, but, you know, they were such good athletes. I tell people that, you know, filling the shoes, yeah, it's going to be a task, and Teddy also, you know, I think has done a good job, but that puts a lot more pressure on me, actually, because I can't just, like I said in the interview, I can't just show up and be good. I can't just be average. I have to be the best. I have to be great, because people that's all they're going to expect out of me, because I am Ted's son. I am Ted Jr.'s brother. There's no room for me to come in and, you know, and just be an average guy. So that's why, you know, I put in my days every day at the FCW school and in the gym. You know, I mean, it's a lot of hours you got to put in to be the best. I mean, you know,